This week on TNA Explosion, Gia Miller goes around the ring with the personal concierge, the Don West. You gotta be kidding me. Top 5 trending topics of the week, in case you missed it. And in our main event, we'll see the Good Hands versus First Class versus the Rascalz in a 3-way tag team match. But first, it's From the Vault, presented by TNA+. This Valentine's Day edition of Xplosion starts now.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, making his way to the ring from Dayton, Ohio, weighing in at 192 pounds. This is Desmond Xavier.
So many layers to Desmond Xavier, and there are a lot of layers in this match. Desmond Xavier versus Petey Williams. The winner goes on to face Brian Cage next week at Under Pressure. The winner of that match is the #1 contender for the X Division title.
Lots on the line here. Tremendous young athlete in Desmond Xavier.
And now, introducing his opponent, making his way to the ring from Windsor, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 190 pounds. He is the Canadian Destroyer, Petey Williams.
Petey Williams is a 2-time X Division champion, and you know that Petey is chomping at the bit to challenge for the title. Easier said than done for both of these competitors, Don. Win here tonight, then you have to face the machine. You have to face Weapon X.
Yeah, I would suggest that if you're gonna get in there with the Swolverine, the machine Brian Cage, maybe don't watch the footage. Maybe don't scout it, because I think it's a head trip watching him destroy people from one corner of the globe to the next.
Do you think that it's lost on Desmond Xavier what Brian Cage has done? Xavier's young in his career. Perhaps he's, you know, sometimes being young and dumb can be a tool that you can use.
Well, we're gonna find out, but I tell you, if I'm either one of these guys, I've got Brian Cage, the machine, in the back of my mind.
As I mentioned, Petey Williams, 2-time X Division champion. He has seen and done it all here on Impact Wrestling. There was a story on ImpactWrestling.com earlier this week debating the advantages in this matchup here. The conversation came up about signature moves, Don. Only one person has ever kicked out of the Canadian Destroyer. That was Eli Drake.
Usually if he hits it, it's over, and he's gonna try to hit it tonight on Desmond.
Show of sportsmanship here between Petey Williams and Desmond Xavier. Xavier, the winner of the Super X Cup in 2017.
Fairly rare that Petey Williams does not have an athleticism advantage, but in this match he does not. Desmond Xavier, one of the best athletes in the entire wrestling business. Look at that.
Xavier rolls through, catches the head, and takes down Petey Williams, and we get a standoff between these two tremendous athletes.
Petey for sure is the more dangerous wrestler because of the Canadian Destroyer. Petey for sure is the more well-rounded wrestler. But Desmond Xavier, with that incredible world-class athleticism, can win a match in a matter of seconds.
The winner has to face Brian Cage next week at Under Pressure. One of these men could end the undefeated streak of Brian Cage on Impact Wrestling. First, they have to get through the other one tonight. Beautiful tilt-a-whirl head scissors from Petey Williams.
Yeah, Petey's looked great in the opening moments of this match. He's got Desmond well scouted. Petey is a master of preparation.
Des was looking for that big kick. Petey counter, looking for the Canadian Destroyer, and Desmond looks for higher ground.
Sometimes Petey Williams with the Canadian Destroyer reminds me a bit of my friend Minoru Suzuki in New Japan Pro Wrestling, where he always goes for that Gotch pile driver, and it becomes predictable. I think Petey's a bit like that with the Canadian Destroyer, and I think sometimes it makes it easier for your opponent to scout that.
Does that hurt Petey and his chances of winning?
100%.
Under Pressure, 7 nights away, the World Championship on the line. Pentagon Jr. versus Austin Aries. Knockouts Championship on the line. Su Yung challenges Ali. Madison Rayne and Tessa Blanchard go one-on-one. Those two may run into each other on September 1st in Chicago at All In. And will we get a clean break? We do from Petey Williams. Don't blink, Don. You might miss something spectacular in this match.
No kidding.
Oh,
and wow. That's a Lance Storm level drop kick right there.
Shoulders
from
down.
Desmond Xavier. Almost got Petey.
Petey able to kick out. Was there anyone better that threw a drop kick than Lance Storm?
Jim Brunzell, who I had the pleasure of wrestling, would be up there, but the list gets real short after those two.
Drop toe hold by Petey Williams. Petey looking to get to Desmond Xavier, big time drop kick. Had that whiplash effect on Desmond Xavier. And these two competing for a chance to get to Under Pressure next week to challenge for the X Division Championship after that.
Petey is such a smart wrestler.
Petey not giving any sort of a reprieve.
Wow.
To Desmond Xavier. Petey Williams, the Canadian Destroyer, is on fire right now. Welcome back to Impact. It's Petey Williams one-on-one with Desmond Xavier. The winner of this match gets to punch their ticket for Under Pressure, and then they have to face Brian Cage.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but I can tell you, Petey Williams has never backed down from a fight in his entire career.
As a competitor, you have to think that they want to face Brian Cage next week.
Of course.
Maybe they can beat Brian Cage with moves like this that we saw before the break from Petey Williams.
Yeah, slingshot over the top, Hurricane Rana by Petey Williams, still bringing it.
Petey with a side headlock here on Desmond Xavier. These two have just been going full speed, full strength since the opening bell, and it's been a stalemate thus far. Nice move there by Dez, and a back elbow from Petey for his efforts.
Yeah, Petey has had an answer for all of Desmond's offense thus far.
Petey with a suplex here, and he's going to look for another. Perhaps not. Steps out of it. High and tight back suplex from Petey Williams. He's only gone for the Canadian Destroyer down once in this match. He goes for a cover here and a kick out.
Petey wearing the colors of the Toronto Argonauts, Josh. You an Argonauts fan?
One of my favorite baseball teams.
Come on now.
I'm an Ottawa Red Blacks fan.
Are you really?
Only because when we went to Ottawa last year, they gave me a bunch of merch.
There you go.
Ooh.
It's your favorite price, free.
There you go. Petey with the cover on Desmond, and left a little bit of space there to kick out at 2. You have to love everything that Impact is doing in 2018. How about our Twitch channel? Twitch.tv/Impact Wrestling. You can see action 24/7, and then we're on IRL all the time, Don. You get to see behind the scenes footage. Did you happen to watch the seminar that we did with Rise? And Scott D'Amore was there, Gail Kim was in attendance.
Yeah, I know. That's the type of behind-the-scenes, break-the-fourth wall content that you get on our Twitch channel. I like to go kind of hang around in the chat room.
Petey Williams looking to celebrate.
this.
Oh! Got caught by Desmond Xavier. Did Petey take too much time?
Absolutely, and Desmond Xavier with that German basically launching Petey Williams from the top rope German suplex on his head and neck.
Who will gain control? As Don said, Petey's had an answer for everything Dez has brought in this match. It has been a chess game
Look
for
at
Petey
how
Williams.
quick Desmond Xavier moves in that ring.
Short arm reversal. A couple of quick strikes
Wow.
from Dez. Bam! Catches him with the delayed drop kick, and Petey wisely rolls to the outside.
Yeah, I don't know how wise it is with Desmond Xavier in the ring.
Great point. Here comes Dez. Wow!
Wow, shades of Kenny Omega. No touch, tope con hilo. Let's have a look.
Watch Desmond Xavier fly and take out Petey. Petey thought perhaps he was going to higher ground, but Desmond Xavier right there. Very similar to what Petey did earlier in the match with the slingshot Hurricane Rana.
These guys are both laying it on the line for the right to face Brian Cage. Great counter.
Lands on his feet. Petey catches him. Petey looking to throw. Just
Wow.
thumps.
He planted him.
Will we see the Canadian Destroyer?
You know he wants to hit it. He's calling for it.
Petey just waiting for Desmond to get to his feet. Dez counters. Back and forth they go. Petey going for another tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Puts on the brakes. Side Canadian leg sweep. Shoulders down. Desmond stacked up and kicks out. Petey looks determined now. And again, down going for the Canadian Destroyer for the third time in this match. Ooh!
Well scouted by Dez.
Beautiful cutter. Desmond goes for the cover, hooks the leg, tight cover and a kick out at 2. This match may last all night.
We talked about it earlier. Petey's propensity, his proclivity, if you will, to go for the Destroyer is costing him late in this match.
What does Desmond Xavier have in store? He was looking for his big kick.
Smart wrestling there by Petey to roll out. Ooh.
Petey brings himself back into the ring with a code breaker. Now is it time for the Canadian Destroyer.
He lost him.
Desmond with the knees, shoulders down, and a kick out at 2.
Very close.
What a match between Desmond Xavier and Petey Williams here on Impact. Here comes Dez. He goes for the kick for the 3rd time. Here comes Petey. Oh!
Clipped him. Right on the point of the chin, Josh.
And Desmond Xavier got planted with a Hurricane Rana. Petey looking for the Canadian Destroyer again. Bow!
Nailed it. Look out.
Here comes Desmond Xavier.
Whoa.
Caught Petey right on the side of the head, and Desmond Xavier secures the win.
The winner of the match, Desmond Xavier.
One too many times to the well, Josh Matthews. Tried for the Canadian Destroyer to his peril.
So Desmond Xavier defeats Petey Williams here tonight on Impact in an extraordinary match, a back and forth match that could have gone either way. Petey was going for the Canadian Destroyer. Desmond was setting up this kick and finally delivers, clips Petey Williams. And now Dez knows what awaits him next Thursday nights.
And now, here on TNA Explosion, it's time for the Don West, you've got to be kidding me, top 5 trending topics of the week in honor of the late great TNA Hall of Famer, Don West. At number 5, TNA Wrestling is so proud to be collaborating with Blacksmith, the brand for premium wrestling merchandise. Officially licensed TNA apparel is available for pre-order now, but it won't last much longer. The pre-order ends this coming Thursday, February 20th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. It'll be the last chance to guarantee your items. Visit blacksmith.co.uk/TNA to get your gear now. At number 4, speaking of this coming Thursday, it will be the next time that TNA Impact is live on AXS TV in the United States, Sportsnet 360 in Canada, and worldwide on TNA+. TNA Impact will be live from Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. And join us on Friday, February 21st as TNA presents more Impact at Full Sail. You can get your tickets now at TNAWrestling.com. At number 3, it was last night on TNA Impact that Masha Slamovich put her TNA Knockouts World Championship on the line against Savannah Evans. It was Evans' first ever TNA Knockouts World title shot after defeating 9 other knockouts the week prior in a battle royal to capture the title shot. How did it all go down? Check it out now on demand on TNA+. At number 2, speaking of championships, this past Tuesday night live on the CW on NXT, JDC of the System challenged Lexis King for NXT's Heritage Cup. JDC returning to NXT once again, representing TNA Wrestling to the best of his ability. Want to find out what happened? Visit TNAWrestling.com right now. And at number 1, a week full of championship matches for NXT stars. We kicked off TNA Impact last night with Jake Something challenging Joe Hendry for the TNA World Championship. The global phenomenon has promised to be a fighting champion just like the former TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth. Joe Hendry battled Jake Something for the TNA World Championship, and you can watch it anytime you want right now on TNA+. Still to come, 3-way tag action with the Good Hands up against First Class, up against the Rascalz. But up next, it's Around the Ring with Gia Miller, starring The Personal Concierge, right here on Xplosion.
Relive the moments that inspired a generation. Plus, premium live events. Plus, exclusive monthly content. TNA Plus. You haven't seen anything until you've seen everything. Plan starting at just $9.99 per month.
Welcome back to TNA Explosion, and now it's time for Around the Ring with Gia Miller.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Around the Ring. As always, I'm your host, Gia Miller, and today I'm sitting down with the incomparable, the magnificent, the elegant, the personal concierge.
Gia, don't stop. Keep going.
Did I do okay?
So good.
Did I
you know
do
what?
okay?
I think what we need to do is you come out to the ring, you say that, then I come out and I introduce Ash.
I fully support this.
She's part of the act. We're gonna bring you on board.
I fully support this. I think I bring a little bit of elegance.
You look very elegant today.
Thank you. Well, thank you for sitting down with me. I am excited to talk to you. I'm excited for the TNA fans to get to know a little bit more about you, because you are like me in that you've lived many lives. You have been, like, everywhere I go, somebody knows you. And whether it's in wrestling or out of it, you have just been so many places. And like, one of the things that just truly blew my mind is your connection to the paranormal. Like, I feel a very deep connection to being perceptive to that kind of stuff. So anytime I meet somebody else that also experiences that and has those experiences, I'm just absolutely fascinated. Can you tell the TNA fans just a little bit about your
experience? Interesting. I was studying film and television in Los Angeles and LA. And at the time, younger guy, don't have a lot of money.
Sure.
So you gotta get roommates and stuff.
Yep.
And we had to all of us rented like this place where they put like 4 people in a room. It was kind of like a hostel in LA. Yeah. Good little area though, like West Hollywood and Fairfax. And just some crazy stuff was happening at night. Like weird nightmares, things were happening, like strange occurrences. I'm like, what's going on here? And when I got back home after my, schooling and experiencing LA, I was like, I gotta find out what this is.
Sure.
And I found this woman, Patty Starr, in Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay.
And she does like a weekend workshop to try and give you the basics of the paranormal. Oh. Ghosts and communication, like
fascinating.
Somewhat of seances, but not to that extreme.
Sure. Just a line of communication.
Yes. And I said, okay, this is great. And I asked her, what about these, like the horror movies, like this dark stuff? Because I had some wild experiences in LA. And
I'm sure in LA.
She says to me, hey, I don't deal with that stuff. There's one woman, though, you want to deal with. She's like the queen of the paranormal. And at the time, it was Lorraine Warren. Oh. And she's known through all her movies, the Conjuring series.
If you don't know that name.
Lorraine Warren, the queen of the paranormal.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
And so I spent a while trying to track her down. I finally did.
Of course you did. Of course you did. You're you.
I am me. If there's anyone who's going to make it happen, it's me.
Yes.
And I went out to Connecticut to meet her and learn from her and did some stuff. And she opened up my eyes to this other world.
Wow.
And so from then on, I think I spent 13 years studying demonology, the occult, the paranormal, the supernatural, going to haunted locations, staying overnight, and like crazy. Now, just the back end, when I was in LA, I didn't want to stay in the room anymore. So I went to the security, like, I don't want to stay here. And the manager waited for me the next day, called me and says, George, I heard you have a problem in one of our rooms. I go, yeah, listen, call me crazy. I don't care what you say. I'm perfectly, I'm a sane person.
Yeah.
And something's happening in that room. She goes, well, interesting enough, this hostel hotel used to be an old folks home. And a lot of people died here. And we've had more than one complaint and people saying that there's ghostly things happening.
A lot of residual energy there.
So that's my story on the paranormal.
Wow. Okay. So you've been on investigations, which is just incredible. And you've told me some stories. Can you think of something you can get in?
Yeah.
Because I know these stories are crazy.
Yeah.
Like the most terrified you've been? Or do you get afraid? Do you feel?
I took it very seriously.
Yeah.
And, I try and do a protection prayer before I go in, because they'll use, like, you know, if you want to get deep, but you know, the time frame, you basically have to be very careful what you do before you go into a location like this. If there's dark energy or dark entities,
It can latch on to you. It can follow you. It absolutely can.
so you go in and you've done some bad things or stuff, they find a way in, they attach to you. Believe it or not, you'll get calls. I'll get calls and people are like, oh my gosh, this happened at the house and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, there's always a trigger. So, you know, ghosts just don't appear.
Right.
Something happens where you trigger it to happen, whether you did something at the house, the place, something. And I remember once I was at a jail cell. And jail cell, it was a prison. And I think it was the Pennsylvania Penitentiary. I could be.
Oh.
Yeah. And I later found out it was done on like Indian burial ground. And we got to go there at night. And they started telling us that basically people would do rituals in these cells and that there was some black magic. Some people died there. So the energy was crazy. I'm not going to go long into it, but there was spooky stuff. And I have photo evidence, which I will send you and you could post on Twitter. So if you want to see it,
Yes.
follow the beautiful one here. And she will post it and you guys can see what we're talking about if you're interested in the paranormal.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Iceman, personal concierge, George, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with me. We got to talk more, and we're gonna have to have you on again, and we'll have you on for the bourbon tasting with Ray
Bourbon. I might be invited to the bourbon. I'm going to hold you to that.
Oh, you're invited.
And I may have to bring a bottle of my own, something special. In Kentucky, there's a place in Kentucky has a very rare brand, hard to get, but I'll bring one for you and we'll have a tasting.
Well, I look forward to it. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, beautiful.
Everyone, this has been Around the Ring.
Up next, did you miss anything from Impact? No problem, we'll get you all caught up. It's In Case You Missed It, next on Xplosion.
It's the all-new TNAmerch.com, your one-stop shop for all things total non-stop action.
Smoke them if you got them. We got all of them. We believe.
Trust the system.
Creatures, mount up. I back it up better than anyone else in the world.
Get shirts, hats, trading cards, slam buddies, and more. We have something for everyone at the all-new TNAmerch.com. Order now before it's all gone.
Welcome back to TNA Explosion, and now it's time for In Case You Missed It. Oh, we are back here in what is Josh Alexander's final match in TNA Wrestling. Eric Young, the new leader of the Northern Armory, trying to end Alexander's time in TNA with malice. There's the cover, hook to the leg, and a kick out by Alexander.
If Eric Young wants to make his mark, if he wants to put the walking weapon down for good, Josh Alexander is going to make him earn every single inch of it.
Alexander dumped to the outside. Let's not forget the piece that Steve Macklin plays in this entire picture. Remember, it was Eric Young who was teaming with Steve Macklin because Eric Young had initially tried to, quote, save Josh Alexander when Alexander was forming the Northern Armory. The Northern Armory nearly ended the careers of both Young and Macklin, and it appears this has been a premeditated plan all along. I'm looking at the ego of Eric Young. Ultimately, Josh Alexander didn't accept the help of Eric Young. Steve Macklin did, and Steve Macklin is refusing to stand side by side with Young on this crusade he's on.
And for Steve Macklin, it has been a whirlwind. First, seeing EY approach Josh Alexander, who's hurt both of them in recent months. Then to have this flip again here, Steve Macklin's mind is spinning with all of this, and hang on!
There's Icarus and Williams on the outside, all over Alexander, while Young has the attention of the official.
I mean, to be fair, no surprise at all there from Icarus and Williams. I mean, that to be fair, that's what Josh Alexander taught them.
Cover, hook to the leg, and a kick out by Alexander. That's the irony in all this.
And now it is Eric Young who is wielding the weapons that are Icarus and Williams against their former master, their former leader.
But I echo the question that Steve Macklin posed last week to Eric Young. This, the Northern Armory, was worth saving?
Obviously, the designs, no pun intended, of Eric Young, I don't even venture to guess what's going through the twisted thoughts of that man.
Alexander slipping underneath. Here's the cover, shoulders down, trying to win this matchup in a kick out.
Here we go again.
On a backslide, trying to secure Young for the pinfall and a kick out.
Alexander holding on though.
Alexander, does he have him here? Oh, and a kick out.
He's keeping Eric Young kicking out, keeping him guessing. Big boot from Eric Young.
Oh, now Alexander caught up by Young. The referee warning Eric Young, who releases. Oh, right to the back of the neck. That twice surgically repaired neck of Josh Alexander. Hand in the face, cover, and a kick out by Alexander.
You have to wonder if back at Genesis, in that incredible but brutal I Quit match with Mike Santana, maybe this Eric Young was lurking all along. Did he see something, a crack in the armor of Josh Alexander? Ooh!
Oh, now Travis Williams is all over Alexander. Again, Young has the attention of the referee. He doesn't see any of this illegal contact.
No one should be surprised at the actions of the Northern Armory at this point.
Oh, Young tossing Alexander back inside the ring. There's a cover, hand in the face, and another kick out by Alexander. My question is, how much of Eric Young's ego can take the iron will of Josh Alexander in this match?
It's a rock and a hard place. It's two well-sharpened weapons here. It's whoever has the will to fight through it.
Oh, Young bringing Alexander down to the canvas. How much more does Alexander have left to give?
Young looking to squeeze every bit of life, every bit of energy out of Josh Alexander, out of his entire existence here in TNA.
On Alexander telling the referee he's still in this thing, showing some fight in his last match in TNA wrestling.
It may be his last, but it feels in a way like Josh Alexander is rediscovering who he really is, who he really was, who he stood for as the top, the standard in TNA.
And the drop kick out of the corner. We once called Josh Alexander the Iron Man, the standard of TNA wrestling. The champion, the man who put this company on his back for 6 long years. And he is returning to that form tonight against Eric Young.
Nobody waved a flag for this company with more gusto, with more enthusiasm than Josh Alexander. Eric Young might be looking to tear that flag and burn it to the ground.
Count of 6 from the official. Both men rising to their feet. The match continues. Alexander's not going to leave TNA wrestling without a fight. Alexander off of the ropes, now sending Young into the ropes. Down goes EY.
Big back body drop there. And the walking weapon, keeping his eyes on Icarus and Williams.
Alexander crashes into the corner, forearm first, rolling through with the senton. Alexander is in control.
Momentum on his side.
Knee right to the back of the neck. Could that be it for Young? Alexander into the cover and a kick out at 2. Hold on a second.
Wait,
Go for the ankle lock. The ankle lock by Alexander.
Rolled right into it. Young gets to the ropes though quickly.
Oh, open pop strike by Young. Alexander, however, grabbing hold of Eric Young one more time, and now the leader of the Northern Armory using the top rope again to his advantage.
Gouging at the face of Alexander as well, and now look out, Eric Young to the top rope.
Eric Young with the elbow drop. Is this the end of Josh Alexander? No, a kick out. The signature headgear has been knocked off by Eric Young, but Alexander isn't going away.
The match may be his last in TNA, but his heart is far from stopping to beat for Josh Alexander.
Once called the heart and soul of TNA Wrestling. He's showing a lot of heart here tonight. Alexander's got a hold of Young. Stepping over. Styles clash. Could this be a phenomenal end for Alexander and a kick out?
Take another look at this. Talk about the heart and soul of TNA. The Styles clash right onto those 3 letters, but not enough to put the world-class Maniac down.
Young is staying in this. A ton of grit from both these fighters tonight. Big right hand by Alexander.
Alexander heading up to that high rent district. We're gonna bring EY down the hard way, but wait a second.
Oh, dear God. Oh, no. Young might be thinking about a pile driver from over the top turnbuckle. Alexander ripped him down. Go for the ankle lock.
Beautiful counter there from the walking weapon. But look at this, EY keeps having answers.
Oh, trying to set through. Eric Young talked about Canadian greatness. How about a sharpshooter?
Center of the ring, but wait!
And now there's Travis Williams trying to run interference. Young, kick to the gut. The distraction by Williams wasn't enough. Hold on, go for the C4 spike.
And now look, another counter rolling through, back to the ankle lock. Dead center of the ring. This time, where does Eric Young have to go?
And there's Judas Icarus up on the apron. Down goes Icarus.
And now Williams on the other side has the referee's attention. Wait, what the hell is that?
Oh, he's tossed that mask to Eric Young, who drills Alexander. The referee never saw it.
The evidence disposed of. Now center of the ring.
And now a pile driver by Eric Young. Josh Alexander's time in TNA is over.
Here is your winner, Eric Young.
There will never be another Josh Alexander in TNA. But tonight, the Northern Armory runs TNA Wrestling. Up next, your main event features the Good Hands against First Class against the Rascalz. It's a triple threat tag team match next on Xplosion.
We're gonna get some.
Live from Los Angeles, TNA Wrestling presents Rebellion, Sunday, April 27. Tickets on sale now at TNAWrestling.com.
Welcome back to TNA Explosion, and now it's time for our main event.
Following contest is a triple threat match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, Casey Navarro, AJ Francis, First Class.
We're ready to go here on TNA Explosion. They are feeling first class here in San Antonio, Texas. Gia, are you ready for a triple threat tag team match?
Oh, I am so ready. I had them install a seatbelt into this chair just so I could buckle in for all of this action.
I wonder how much first class paid Will there in the front row to show off some of that first class merchandise, which you can get now at TNAmerch.com. I don't want to put any more money in the pockets of AJ Francis. He claims he signed the most lucrative deal in the history of TNA wrestling. Do you believe that?
I'll let my silence tell you everything.
I thought you were the journalist. You had the inside scoop.
Oh, I do anything I can not to talk to AJ.
Fair.
Next, Jason Hutt.
All right, all right, all right.
Good hand.
Pipe down, all you San Antonio sweat hogs. Look, I know you people are used to disappointment, and you don't know what a real winning team looks like. Because face it, the San Antonio Spurs suck. The Texas Longhorns suck. The Texans suck. The Cowboys suck. Honestly, Texas is just a giant state full of losers. But we're gonna show you what a real winning team looks like when we don't beat one team tonight, we beat two teams. You can line up 50 if you want, and we'll drop them all with these good hands.
I respect Mackenzie Mitchell for talking right over John Skyler.
Oh, can I wake up from my nap now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm up.
And their opponent from the 419, Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, the Rascalz.
What an opportunity the Rascalz had to make history on the first live episode of TNA Impact in 8 years recently. You can relive it anytime you want on demand on TNA Plus. The Rascalz challenged Nathan Frazier and Axiom for the NXT Tag Team titles. First time ever a WWE Championship has been defended in a TNA ring. Unfortunately, it was NXT's Wesley, a former Rascal, who ruined the opportunity for Wentz and Miguel.
You know, I've known these boys for a long time, and it is so awesome to see them come such a long way. Just sad we had to lose West in the process.
Is it sad considering his conduct?
You know what? Maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
It's always a silver lining. We are ready for a triple threat tag team matchup. Now, only two teams will be legal in the ring at once and represented. Normal tags within this matchup. You can tag in anyone you want on any team. So if you're under duress, for instance, a member of first class that is not legal right now might tag a member of the Good Hands or the Rascalz, so on and so forth. Sometimes you have to make some moves out of desperation to continue the matchup. First fall to a finish inside the ring.
That's right. You have to be really good about teamwork, and then also...
Could be over early here. Kick out at 1.
You got to be resourceful in a match like this. Be aware of your surroundings, because just how you can make a tag out of desperation, if you get too close, you could accidentally be tagged out and taken out of the action.
Tag there. Blind tag made by the Rascalz, two-time TNA World Tag Team Champions. Miguel is legal. And look at this, some shades of the Motor City Machine Guns. TNA Originals, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley.
You absolutely love to see
Covered, and a kick out at 2 there by Jason Hotch. Motor City Machine Guns had a tremendous effect on the Rascalz in their maturation process over the years. Oh, and a little thumb to the eye there by Hotch. Takes a shot at Wentz on the apron. And now a tag made. Skyler's legal.
Ooh!
Oh, and a double stop there by Hotch. Skyler's legal, trying to win this matchup. And a kick out. Skyler once again wants a cover. And a 2 count on Miguel. This could go a long way towards perhaps telling us a future contender for the TNA World Tag Team Championships, currently held by the Hardys.
Absolutely, with the Hardys sitting on...
The tag was made there. Casey Navarro tagged himself in. Miguel was not aware of it. Now a sling blade by Navarro. And again, this is the point you were making before, the dangers of a triple threat tag.
And that's just how fast things can happen. If you blink, you could miss a moment of the action.
Ooh. Next snap, and now the double stop. Fired off by Navarro. Eric cover here and a kick out by Miguel. You were saying before?
Well, as I was about to say, with the Hardy sitting on the top of the mountain that is the TNA Tag Team Division, I mean, that's called everyone to step up their game. Who thinks that they can knock off the Hardys?
The tag made AJ Francis is legal. Zachary Wentz makes a tag as well. The 330-pounder, former NFL defensive lineman, just bulldozes Wentz and now takes a shot at the good hands.
You know, I don't want to give it to AJ, but that might be a smart strategy. Take out the other team, narrow it down to just...
Was going for the down payment there, the choke slam. Ooh, trying to fire off Wentz to hit Miguel. Oh. Both of the Rascalz up on Francis' shoulders.
Holy cow.
A tag's been made. Jason Hodge is legal.
I don't even know if AJ's aware of it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. AJ Francis has control of 3 men at the same time. World's strongest wasteland.
Yeah. Well, we're never going to hear the end of that.
Oh, slingshot spear by Skyler. And Francis sent over the top. And now Navarro in the backup, Francis. Skyler sent outside. And now Navarro taking flight and wiping out Skyler. Hold on, now the Rascalz going after first class.
Rascalz standing tall at the moment, but we've got to get back in the ring.
Our referee, Daniel Spencer, trying to gain control, and there's Jason Hodge. Beautiful moonsault to the outside.
Incredible.
And now Hodge, winner of TNA Gut Check back in 2022, is legal for the good hands, but John Skyler just tagged himself in.
Looked like Jason Hodge was a little surprised
this is
there.
why Skyler was trying to set up for the favor, the finishing move for the good hands, but you're right. Hodge was surprised. Skyler, the situation backfired. Spine buster, super kick, knocking the spit right out of his mouth. Through to the Lions. Cover. The Rascalz win this triple threat tag team match.
Here are your winners, the Rascalz!
That backfired there for the good hands.
It certainly did, and from the halls of Rockstar Pro to TNA, the Rascalz are your victors here on Xplosion.
Heck of a performance by all of these tag teams. Let's take a look back here. AJ Francis with a ridiculous feat of strength, the world's strongest wasteland. Then Casey Navarro went to back him up. The Rascalz went after first class. Then Jason Hodge got involved. Skyler tagged himself in, looked like Hodge was rolling, and then feed him to the Lions. The Rascalz are your winners.
Like I said, don't blink. You could miss a moment of the total nonsense.